5 years and still talking. This is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, this is Alex. This is the Ramble. It's from the most infected city, well, not anymore. Anyway, we're here until midnight Eastern Daylight Time. Ladies and gentlemen, that smiling face you see there with, I think I noticed corona hair.
Yes, exactly. I was going to tell you I have corona hair today. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to get worse.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when you were bald.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe I should just go back to that.
How long ago was that you were bald?
Oh, a little under a year ago. It lasted for 2 or 3 months till it really grew in again. But last year, middle of the year last year.
Now look at you. You want a haircut, but you can't get one.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Well, luckily, you're one of the states that's not currently facing a huge uptick.
Yes, we are.
Oh, you are? Because
it was so low that we almost looked like New Zealand for a long time. I mean, not that there weren't people who had died but it was so low. We were like in the bottom 10 if you rank the states.
Yeah.
But when this latest explosion started, so it exploded here too. So our numbers are still low compared to a lot of places, but it's because we started lower.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's really going up now.
Yeah. But I looked at a map. They put these maps up on TV, and I looked at Washington was like bright red or something like that, but Oregon was not really changing color.
Because the numbers that they use, they apply the same numbers for their cutoff between red and yellow and orange and all of that on the maps. They use the same numbers for every state. So as I said, ours are much, much lower to begin with, but for the number that we were, they've gone sky high now and are continuing to so far today. So
well, here's the thing. There's a great way to get your numbers going down. Well, let me turn on my on-the-air light here. There we go. To get those numbers down. And it's a significantly...
Yes, it's called wearing a mask.
No, it's called don't test.
Oh, well, can we not... Please. And this is... I can't think of anything more stupid. I just can't even...
The only reason you got pancreatic cancer was because you went to a doctor and he said you did. If you hadn't gone to that doctor, you wouldn't have had pancreatic cancer.
No, I can't
I
even...
I know. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so uninformed, and he's got these...
I read somebody who used to be in this White House, and I don't remember who, but somebody who isn't there anymore, but who worked with Trump for quite a while.
Yeah.
Who said that he believes that Trump is incapable of understanding the concept of testing and what that means. Because I think, and that makes sense to me, because he's stupid about a lot of things. This one is just so incredibly awful. And you just, there's not, what's to say? I mean, I don't know the answer of what you say about that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You know what else?
Yeah.
I am so weary of him. And we've got this pandemic. If you look at Australia, New Zealand, Iceland, a great deal of Western Europe, they've done a wonderful job of controlling something that we don't know enough about to do anything about.
Right.
We could have had someone like that. We could have if we'd voted differently, but we didn't. And one of my readers said that who's a Canadian, she said that to Canadians it feels like they're living over a meth lab.
Wow.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
And of course, then I'm sure you heard today that European Union is strongly considering, not as they open up their countries, of not allowing any Americans in.
Well, you know what our governor did today? He's passing an order that anybody coming into the state with from a state with a high infection rate, that would be anything over a 1.
Why would you cherry pick the state?
Wait a
Any
minute.
state?
No, because some of them have a low infection rate.
I don't care.
Well,
They're still sick.
in any event, what he's going to do is that anybody from those states who comes in is going to have to quarantine themselves for 14 days.
You know, I don't understand self-quarantine. How do they know people don't cheat?
Well, one way they can tell is, let's say somebody comes up from Florida, drives up from Florida, okay? And now he's driving around. And the cops check him out, and he just came into the state.
But they don't. They've got other things to do.
Yeah, I guess. You know what they don't have time to do? In our neighborhood, for some reason, we have had fireworks going off for a solid week.
Well, I don't know what I can say about that. It seems the least of our problems.
Well, it's not. Wouldn't be the least of your problems if you were lying there trying to go to sleep at night.
Given the virus and the president and the president's minions, who are doing their own terrible things, I'd put fireworks way down the list. I understand the irritation, but we've got such big problems that unless somebody is being mangled by them, it just can we get on with what's really important?
Well, yes, but all these, there are a lot of problems right now, just a lot of them, and I think in a way he counts on these things really acting up a bit.
Who's he?
Trump.
The governor?
Trump. I think he likes the demonstrations for Black Lives Matter because it takes the emphasis away from the coronavirus. And then he likes the coronavirus because it takes the emphasis away from something else. And he's always been the master of deflection.
You know, I'm just weary.
I know you're weary. We're all tired. We're all tired. And let's hope that the rest of America feels like we do, that they're tired of this buffoon.
I can't stand it that every day, and it suddenly struck me how I think he's going to win the election. For months, he's been leading up to talk about defunding the police, defunding the post office. And if people can't mail in their ballots, how are we going to have an election?
Well, can I tell you a little story here that gripes me? I applied for a mail-in ballot, and then Marjorie got her mail-in ballot, but I didn't.
Well, it doesn't mean anything insidious has gone on. Follow up and see what
I did. I wrote them 5 times, and I've not received a single reply.
How about if you pick up the telephone? How difficult is that?
Getting through to them? Ridiculous.
Try. Don't bitch. Try.
Well, the latest letter I wrote them is, you have deprived me of my right to vote.
Well, now, and I just came to work today, and I'm worried about my kid catching the virus, and I'm going to answer you? I guess not.
Look, we sent the thing in. We've sent a second one in. I see no recognition of it.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, they are living the same life you and I are, scared shitless.
Well, yeah, but they're also...
Wait a minute. And they're trying to do things, and they're probably getting contradictory instructions. Follow up, do your end. You don't have to just sit there and check a box. You could actually go down to the place and say, hey, here's my problem.
I have written them 3 different times, and I've written the state... I've written the state twice.
Alex, thousands of letters are coming into those places. Thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're special? Get off your ass and go to the office of that place.
I'm going to go downtown in the coronavirus.
Well, an awful lot of people do.
I'm going to take a subway downtown. I'm going to take a subway downtown.
Yeah?
Would you?
If you think it's that important.
Would you?
A whole lot of people yesterday stood in line all over the country to vote with the coronavirus floating around.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do
they're
right now.
also not 80 years old. They're
Or
also not 80 years old, and in that area that's compromised. You know.
get creative. Do something. I mean, you can complain all you want. That doesn't help the situation.
Well, I've got more important things to deal with, like the firecrackers in our neighborhood. The fireworks.
How do you just zoom into the least important stuff? It's there's nothing more important. The only tool we have to change the government in Washington is to vote.
I know that. I signed up to vote.
The only tool.
I signed up to vote.
Do something and not and
all,
stop.
all I'm trying to point out here, Ronnie, is not that I didn't get my thing, because I didn't. But I'm trying to point out. Wait a minute. I'm trying to point out that there is a problem with mail-in ballots if they don't.
No, you're not pointing out that there's a problem.
They didn't send me one.
That you didn't get yours. Go figure out how to get one, and then you could tell your audience what worked for you.
Oh, yeah, what probably worked for me is I have to go down on a subway, which is a Petri dish, and go downtown all the way to the city hall, which is another Petri dish, which then probably isn't even open. So then I have to find out where voter registration is.
Just keep complaining. I think that's just fine then.
No, I think that they should do their job.
You don't know the pressures they're under. First of all, local governments are out of money. They're not allowed to go into debt. They can't hire a whole bunch of new people because they don't have the cash.
How difficult is it for them to simply write me back and say we're looking into it?
Oh, really? And the stack is this high?
Or how about
this high of letters?
How about just a robo reply?
Did you write a letter or did you email?
I emailed.
Oh, well, you'll never hear anything. Do you know what their email boxes look like every morning?
There should be some kind of robo response, like we got your letter, blah blah blah. We're looking at it.
Can we stop this? I don't know how to talk to you
I'm talking about efficiency.
Complain, and you don't do anything to
No,
fix
because
it.
doing something compromises my health.
Well, it just all depends
and
on
isn't one of the main reasons for having these mail-in ballots for people like you and me who have our immunity compromised and cannot go to a polling place, and so therefore it should be made easier rather than rougher.
And if we had such a thing, I would, under all the safety conditions. It's that important.
Yeah,
and all those people all over the country, and I've forgotten how many states yesterday. You saw the photographs. They were there, standing in line for hours.
Well, let me tell you this. It doesn't matter if I vote. Now, you're going to go crazy for me saying that.
I can't discuss it anymore. I don't know how to talk to you about it.
Because this state's going to vote for Biden anyway.
That's okay. So how many people do that all the time, and then we get people like Trump elected?
Because my one vote gets distilled down into like 57, 87, whatever the electoral votes are in the Electoral College. It all gets distilled. It doesn't say,
well, then why vote ever?
Well, in New York, voting Democratic is rather redundant.
Okay, then everybody who's a Democrat shouldn't vote. Why bother? A lot of them are old anyway. And then we'll have Trump for another 4 years.
No, if I don't vote for Biden in this state, in New York, am I going to change the vote at all? Am I going to change the outcome at all?
It doesn't matter.
Now, I understand if I lived in
Wisconsin, you're not doing your part as a citizen.
But you'd have an argument for me if you, for instance, if we were talking about me living in Wisconsin or living in Ohio, the states like that where they're pivotal states and your vote does really matter.
I can't. Can we go somewhere else? I can't. You might as well be a Trumper to talk like that.
No, I'm not a Trumper talking like that. I'm talking about a New Yorker living in New York.
No, you can speak as a citizen of the United States, and the one way you have to participate, to do your part, to try to uphold democracy is to vote.
Yeah, well, you see,
there's no argument.
We're talking about me voting in New York State.
It doesn't matter what state. It's doing your part as a citizen of this country.
At the risk of my life.
I don't see why not. There's all kinds of ways to protect yourself. I go out to the pharmacy, to the grocery store, out to get my mail every day and my garbage, and I suit up,
Yep.
gloves, and the next thing I'm going to get one of these things because I had trouble breathing with a mask because
Yeah.
of the COPD.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a mask with the face shield.
The mask.
Sometimes
The
when
mask.
I'm not near anybody, I could pull it down a little bit, but that's that's your trade-off for being an American. No excuses, no fine-tuning what state I live in or who's up for election. You do your part, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I thought that I knew you.
I would be happy to do my part if they did their part.
Who's they?
The people who are supposed to send me my goddamn mail-in ballot.
I said I can't discuss this.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know how to talk to you. You sound like Trump. Every excuse is just dumb.
That isn't a dumb excuse.
Yes, it is. You can get on the phone. You can go down there. You can send a snail mail letter. You can do all kinds of... you're smart. You're a media person. You can figure out who to call that will help out.
I used to be a media person. Anyway,
That's what we're doing. It's me. Anyway, you're making me angry, and I don't want to be angry.
Okay, don't be angry. Anyway, let's get on to... All of a sudden, you were in perfect sync in the beginning, and now you're out of sync.
Everything's a problem for you, isn't it?
You know what I've been...
I don't know what to do.
You know what I've been using...
Crazy.
You know what I've been doing with most of the people who I interview now? We do Zoom, because Zoom is so much better. I don't have that problem with them. They never go out of sync. But anyway, we're still using Skype because it's easier for you, because that's the way we've been doing it. Let me ask you.
I can do Zoom.
What? You do Zoom?
I can do Zoom. Why can't I?
Well, maybe next time I'll send you my link and we'll do Zoom. I didn't know you do Zoom.
Jeez. Everything we've been through today, you find something wrong with. This time it was me.
No. I'm not finding anything wrong with you at all. I'm just saying that I was doing Skype because we're used to doing Skype. But if you want to do Zoom, I'll send you the Zoom link next time.
I'll do Zoom. I have to. It's the way I see my doctors now.
Yeah.
And it works fine. I mean, I know you keep having difficulties with Skype, so if there's one that works better, we should do it.
Okay, we'll do Zoom next time. I'll send you the link, and then you'll call me at the time, and we'll do it that way. Because I just find it so much better than Skype now. I'm doing all the panels and everything on my show at night using Zoom, just simply because Zoom is so much better. Anyway, let me ask you this. Coronavirus, you deal with an older audience because it's called timegoesby.net, and you talk about what it's like to get older and to go through the things you've gone through. How is your audience because they're an older audience? I know that as an older person, I've been especially careful about the virus. I don't think... part of my problem is I haven't left the house in 4 months, basically. I've gone out a couple of times. How's your audience reacting to this?
About going out?
I mean, are they fearful of it? Do they feel that they have to really watch out for it, or are they just, well, what happens happens?
Oh no, that's only young people that say that.
Yeah.
Or Trump people that are never going to change.
Yeah.
But they're really smart about it. I mean, first of all, you have to understand about old people no, that's not the right word. The retired people have already had a lot of practice of not being in and out of the house all day, every day. We've learned how to live in a different way. And as you get older, you can't do as many.
Right.
Even if there's no big deal restriction on you, you get tired, or so you don't go out to do as much. You don't go club hopping all night every night and out drinking every night, and not much of that anymore. And so that's already built into your life when you're old.
Yeah.
And so you have less reason or need or even desire sometimes to go out. So it's easier, I think, for us than very young people who, when you're in your 20s, it's your job to go out and see people every night.
To be social.
But,
yeah.
But from when we've discussed it, on the blog, everybody's quite accepting of it, really accepting of, they've read all the contradictory instructions because nobody is given any direct instructions of exactly the right stuff to do. And all are smart enough to figure out it's really important and what's important to do. And yeah, I think that, I think everybody is aware that if an old person gets the virus, and some of them even state it this way, I know for me that I believe it's true that if I get the virus, just let me go. You're not going to be able to save me long term anyway. So let me go. And so we're careful, but I think we're careful in an intelligent way. In that we've all got gloves to wear. Some of us, I'm one of them, have elaborate ways of handling the mail. That we never open mail on the day we get it.
How long do you wait to open it after you spray it?
3 days.
3 days.
I don't spray it. I have a box out on my patio that's well covered. Rain can't get to it. And I leave it out there. I don't bring it into the box. And I bring stuff in from the box about twice a week. Yeah. So if somebody sends me a snail mail note, a card or a letter or something, doesn't happen very often, they might expect a response sooner, but they're not getting it because I don't even know I have the note for half a week.
Well, we have a disinfectant. I think it's Mr. Clean with the biological disinfectant in it. And when stuff comes in, a box comes in, we spray it from a distance.
Oh, you're talking boxes. I'm talking letters.
Yeah, but I'm talking boxes and also letters too. I mean, we actually leave the letters sitting on the table in the foyer for about 2 days, 3 days, before we open them up. Yeah. But
the only reason to do that is that when they were sorting mail at all the steps along the way, somebody may have sneezed on it or touched it when they have the virus and don't know it. They're still working. And it doesn't, I think on surfaces at last they keep, it's a different answer every day, but I think the most recent one is that it lasts a day or two.
Well, the World Health Organization said they're beginning to believe it does not adhere to surfaces very well. It doesn't adhere to packages, for instance. Countertops
Don't go there. Can we skip that part?
Well, they say countertops is porous.
There's so many different answers. There's no definitive answer.
Well, the fact is that every week we come up with new information.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no point in discussing it.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So basically, I agree with you that as you get older, you're not as sociable, and you don't feel you're capable of doing the same things you used to be able to do. I know there were people going on marches, for the Black Lives Matter thing. Some of them went through Harlem. I wanted to join them, but I said, something, and I said this when I was younger. I said, protesting is a young person's occupation, and I did, and so I feel I did my job. I did. Hell, you had to pull me out of New York to go to London when Kent State happened and said, we're going on a vacation no matter what. And then we wound up at the American Embassy, outside the American Embassy at our hotel, and there was everybody protesting, so I went out and protested. When you're young, you can protest. You've got the energy, you've got the stamina, and you've got the social ethic. I just didn't feel I could join them. I didn't feel that I could safely join them to begin with, and that there was no social distancing going on. And most of them were wearing face masks to their credit. But I wish I had been able to go out there, but I just didn't feel I could, and that made me feel kind of bad because I was mad.
Well, you do what you can do. I can't, because I can't even get from here to the bedroom without breathing hard. So, how am I going to march? But, the other thing about my readers is some of them mention they miss, well, as I do, I miss having, I got too old to go out to dinner with friends because I get sleepy early.
Yeah, right.
But I did lunches, and I miss the lunches. They have reading groups and other kind of groups they used to go to, and they miss those. Some are, a lot of them, people were making masks, before making, things for children's hospitals and stuff like that they did as a group. The people that I know here did a lot of that. So now they're doing it at home, and they're using Zoom to meet and talk with each other. Although now apparently the latest big thing is Zoom fatigue, which I could have told you the first time I tried it. It wears me out, you know. I mean, it's different here with you. First of all, it's one-on-one. There's not a whole bunch of people on the screen. There's just you and me, and you're you know. Do you know that I've known you longer than any other person alive?
Really?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
What are you looking at? So who the other person might be? I know.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I was 17 when we met.
Oh boy. Well, hey, listen.
And, you know, that's 60 years ago.
We've just run out of time.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up.
We talked about this last time, oddly enough. You mentioned it once to me.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know you longer than I've known anybody. I'm trying to think. Anybody? No, my friend Roy Trumbull died.
Oh, we've already talked. You're right about this.
Yeah. So you're it too.
That's the other thing about being old.
So
we can't remember what we said last week.
you better not go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Bennett can be found at timegoesby.net. Goodbye, Ronnie.
Goodbye.
5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yeah. Nothing like talking to old wives, right? It's an old wives' tale. Anyway, hey, listen, what do we got here? Oh, listen, I want to tell you something before we go to our panel, to our, checking out the panel, which you can do through Zoom. You'll get the address on our gabnet.net page, and you can get the address on my Facebook page at facebook.com/A Bennett. And you can also get it if you're watching it on YouTube. You can get it right here on the video, right down there, right below me. See, I think that works. Anyway, listen, I just got to play you something. It's quick. It's only going to take about 45 seconds. In our neighborhood, I've been complaining about the fact that every night, people, for some reason, found it a great idea to blow off fireworks. Don't ask me why. And like last week, Juneteenth, I understand that it's their Independence Day, and they deserve to be there, and blow off the fireworks and so on. But that was over on Saturday. They still are blowing them off. And I wanted to play you this. This is just really quick, okay? But I want to play you this. This is what went on. Are you ready for this? Okay? This was at 4:15. 4:15 in the morning. Look at this. Now watch this. Now, admittedly, they're really nice fireworks, but listen to that sound. Okay? Yeah, that was going on at almost 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, am I acting like an old man, or is that vexing? There they go, more of them. And it just went on and on and on and on. And I couldn't believe it. And this was on Sunday, I think it was. Maybe I've recorded this, or Monday. No, it was Sunday. Here we go, more of them. I mean, admittedly, they're spectacular for neighborhood fireworks, but geez almighty. Okay, I think that's about it. Maybe there's one more. No, that was it. Okay, so that's what goes on in my neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Anyway, let's go to our. Let's go. First of all, I want to see who. Well, we know who this is, so we'll have. I just push this, and there comes Phil Meyer, because I've got somebody else in the waiting room, Phil, and I want to check. Oh, there's Howard. Oh, okay. Are you Mary, Howard? Howard, I can't hear you, Howard. Your mic is turned off.
Oh, yeah, it says Mary.
Yeah, it says Mary.
I fixed it.
Huh?
That's my wife.
Oh, okay. So when I see that, it's okay for me to let you in. Okay, let me.
I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Let me open up the unenable the waiting room.
I was Maria. Maria Gonzalez or something.
Oh, really? Oh.
No, I'm making it up.
Oh, okay. You don't have a
Remember
green.
the other day?
You don't have a green screen tonight.
No, because you guys didn't like it.
Oh, okay. No, it didn't. I thought it was fine. I just didn't know what you were going to do with it, if you were going to do anything.
I was just hiding crap, so I relocated to a different spot. I could
Howard,
go on the beach, Huh?
Howard, he just doesn't like my green screen. Yours is fine.
Okay. By the way, I've got to go over to the panel so people can actually see them. There they go. Okay. Oh man, having a little cough tonight.
Hey Alex, they do have green screens on Amazon.
What?
Not the
You
one
can
he
get them on.
Yeah, but they're
in
not.
stock now.
But they're not.
No,
Oh,
they're back
they're
in
back
stock.
in stock. The
That's
Elgatos.
today.
The Elgato.
Yeah.
Really?
look.
Wait a minute. Let me look. I don't believe you. Let's see here. Green
You're calling
screen.
your callers liars? I guess
yeah.
so.
I went and looked, and I saw them in stock on Amazon today.
The backdrop was stand. Okay, here we go. What do you know? eMart. The eMart, let's see here, but it's not the one, it's not that collapsible one. No, I don't see them. Oh, here we go. The eMart green screen collapsible chroma key panel. That's kind of close to what I was trying to get, okay? But anyway, in case people want to see what I'm looking at, I can just go over here like this, and you can see. You see, these are all the green screens that they have for sale on Amazon, and that's what makes you be able to put a background on yourself. Okay, all righty. Okay, all right. Anyway, back to the back to the panel. Hello, Charlie.
Hi.
Hi. So anyway, it's been a pretty good day today. I'm still feeling, I don't know what it is. I went out for a walk, and I didn't have the same symptoms I have inside the house. So I'm beginning to think there's something wrong with this apartment.
You need a HEPA filter.
Oh, a HEPA filter?
Yeah.
Maybe I need to buy one of those things. Here's what I did though. This really annoys me. So they had a thing on the internet, some ad or something about this thing that the filters and it does everything, and I'm thinking, maybe it might not be a bad idea to get for the apartment because maybe that will clear it all out. And I want to see how much it costs, and it costs something like $400 or $500, and I'm going, I can wheeze my way through life. But ever since I watched that ad and then I went online and kind of looked it up, every time I go to, what do you call it? Oh, God. The thing that we're using to put this show out. YouTube. Every time I go to YouTube, they run an ad beforehand, and it's an ad for that. They are watching me,
You can say things in the room, and it picks up what you were looking at.
Yeah. So I hello,
Brian.
What's his name? Tony. Tony, and
I don't have a picture, does it?
and it says Brian's phone. Who's hello, Brian? You there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get my phone going. Okay. I'm in a chamber at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're over in another building. Oh man, I'm trying to get my camera to go.
Press there's a camera button.
Yeah, I know, and it says start video, and it's enabled to use. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll have to call back when I get home if I'm making time. But we're over in our big building in Building 8, and they have these pods.
Mm-hmm.
They're like it's like a chamber. It's like there's two benches,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like probably like 6 feet by 5 feet, and you close the door, and there are windows on one side, and they have plug-ins for you and everything, but it's to hold meetings, so we don't have meeting rooms. It's pretty bizarre.
Brian, sounds like a cell at San Quentin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try to get my phone going. If not, then I'll call back later.
Yeah, you should be able to get on here. It says your camera is showing, And of course, your audio. You've got your audio. So I don't know what the problem is. Okay. All right. We'll see. Brian's iPhone. Anyway, hello, Tony.
How's it going?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hanging. She was a little moody tonight, but
Who? Oh, you mean your employer?
well, yeah, exactly. She gets bored sometimes. But what do you think? It was too hot to take her in the yard today. I didn't want to chance it.
This is like you talking about your dog. It was too hot to take her in the yard today, so I let her poop in the house.
It was hot though. I was afraid. I remember it's just like I thought it was just too muggy.
Yeah, it was kind of toasty today. But here, do you hear the fireworks?
They're going again. Oh, you see, De Blasio's got some kind of task force for the fireworks.
Oh, really?
What are they gonna do? He's gonna
wait. What did he say? I want to know if he's doing something about it.
Well, my brother told me that he's put a task force together that's going to try to apprehend the people who are shooting illegal fireworks. Try to get them off the street.
Oh, please. Listen, I'm all for fun. But this has gone on since the middle of last week, and it hasn't stopped. You would have thought it would have stopped after Upteenth or whatever the name of that thing is. Oh, there's Brian, but your iPhone is still on, Brian.
Yeah, no, it's on my iPhone. I'm on my iPhone because I have Zoom on my phone.
No,
so I can be in.
But there's a Brian's iPhone that isn't.
Yes, yeah, because that's on my phone. So this is the little chamber. So we're doing a big event over here.
Well, wait a minute. I have two pictures. You, which I got the picture, and another one that says Brian's iPhone.
Oh, really?
Oh, it just disappeared. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It just disappeared.
I'll show you this.
Anyway, show us the pot. Could you do something? Let's see if you can turn sideways. So, yeah, there we go.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, now we get to get. Oh, look at that. Is that a pod? And you work in there?
You can, yeah. So people break off and they go into these meetings in here, and then you close it. So we're down there. We've been here like 12 hours working on the next building. Yeah, and then you just sit in here and you got your stuff and just talk to somebody. And
God, it's like being in a prison cell.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody's fucked in here.
I'm sure they have. Well, can you smell anything that's going on?
Nothing sticky on the floor.
Did the windows black out?
No, but there's nobody up here except for us.
Yeah.
So this is, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. How many square feet is that? You have the whole building, or do you have the?
This is 5 by 6. This little room, and they have like 7 or 8 of these around here because they try to save space on conference rooms. So and they densified these areas. So over in the cubicle area, people are right next to each other. We densified just before CODIV, so we saved a lot of space and had these. And that CODIV came, and we have to densify everybody again. So, yeah.
Oh boy, well, it's nice, you know.
Yeah, sunset's over there, so yeah, we have a couple more hours. We're just trying to deal with some arguments. So.
Wow.
Okay, let me switch back to me.
Switch back to you. There he is. There he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's it's very nice, and you look like you're in a cell, a fancy cell, but you look like you're in a cell.
Yeah, I just keep checking to make sure they haven't all left me because I want to go home.
Yeah. Well, is that the modern day version of a cubicle?
Yeah, this is the modern day version of a meeting or being private, because you can't be private. These other densified areas is like they have like a chair, and then right next to you is like a file, the little mini file cabinet, and then another chair for the next person.
Yeah.
So yeah, just we have no space here, so.
Yeah. Oh, there's Jeff Stein just joined us, and you know this is so easy for him. He never has trouble with his sound anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does work better.
Yeah, it does work good. Anyway, so how are we all doing tonight? Good to see you again for the second night, Howard. You know,
Excellent.
It's nice to see a different face beside the one that's over on the other side here, over here, folks. You know you know where I'm pointing, don't you, Phil? Huh? What?
It's only 5 o'clock here.
Yeah, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, it's early.
It's 5 o'clock in where? Oh, in Hawaii, of course.
In Maui.
You're right, at Maui. Yeah. How long ago did you move there?
I moved to Hawaii in 2002.
Oh, really? So you've been there quite a while. You were really a Kama'aina, huh?
Yeah, I got a bunch of these shirts. Every time I come on, I'll have a different shirt on.
As opposed to Phil, who is we all know is a haole.
Yeah.
Does Renee live in
No, she lives in Hawaii.
We don't know where she lives anymore.
disappeared?
She just disappeared.
I wonder if she's still alive.
Well, that's what we always wonder when we don't hear from people for a while. You know. That's why I go on the air every night, because if I miss a night, you'll think I'm dead.
That's right. You get to check yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I was really lightheaded last night during the show, and it's happening again tonight, but I don't know. There's something in the air. Something going on. But
I got something new today that I haven't seen
what?
in 4 months. Or
What?
5 months. My son,
Oh, really? Oh, because
Andrew. Yeah, you remember.
you finally decided you could see each other.
Yeah, we decided we're going to do it, and we both got tested,
Yeah.
and so we're going ahead. And
Good.
little family deal. It's something that we had planned that probably 6 months ago,
Yeah.
and after a while and a lot of discussions, we said,
So the family
let's
that tests together gets together.
That's it.
That's right. That's right. But anyways, I can't figure out what I've got. It's some kind of, I think it's some kind of allergy from this apartment, because I went out today and I for a short time felt better. But you know what I saw in the world outside that I haven't seen? We have one of these things that go around the apartment because they're planning on doing some pointing in the building, so it's like, you know, scaffolding that surrounds the building so that if something falls from up above, it doesn't hit people. Well, also across the street, they have a park. But in that park, a lot of people, derelict, should we say, used to congregate every day and exchange drugs. Okay? And so the cops came along and they pulled out all the benches so they have nowhere to sit. So where have they moved now? Under our covering on the other side of the building here. And they're all there, sitting there, camped out in chairs and everything else. And the cops do nothing about it. You know,
Hey,
now I feel sorry for these people because they don't have a place to stay, but I feel like Cuomo said when he threw them out of the subway cars. I think that's what we're getting there. All right? Threw them out of the subway cars, but he said he really wanted to find them places for them to stay. They shouldn't have to sleep in a subway car. You know, and he tried doing his job, and it isn't working as
He
well.
found a place, 116th and 7th Avenue.
116th and 7th Avenue? Okay. Anyway, I notice I'm a little out of sync here. Yeah.
I just figured I could fart really loud and nobody can hear me
Oh, but boy.
until somebody else comes in here.
Don't trust the fart.
Okay, I think we're finishing up. So, okay, I'll see you guys later.
Oh, well, I want to ask you one question, Brian, before you go.
No, you don't have COVID.
No, I know I'm sure I don't have COVID. I got something else, but I don't have COVID. You know, I have not had a temperature, not even close. In fact, my temperature is so low, I think I'm dying the other way. But anyway, no, I wanted to ask you this quickly before you go, in case we don't have time to talk to you about it later. Today, Trump took the action to stop funding the states for COVID testing. Good idea, bad idea?
Bad idea, but our stuff goes through the medical facilities. So they're paying, but they must get some funding from the government also to be paying for some stuff.
Oh, yeah. And the states
so I don't
also...
think it's not going to stop us for sure, but, you know, it's a lot easier test for everybody if it's being funded, right?
Well, of course. And I mean, it means more tests, and the more testing we do, the more we get a picture of where the outbreaks are. And I mean, the notion that you do more testing and you find more people that are, that are sick or whatever, of course you do.
Right.
But you get an accurate picture. Here in New York, we do more testing than anybody, and our numbers have gone down. So that the theory that the only reason they go up is because we're testing is absolutely wrong.
Yeah, we just reported we have like 4,000 customers we've been supplying, and a lot of it is coming out of the U.S. now.
Well, it's like saying, the only reason I have cancer is because they tested the malignancy. I mean, come on. The reason you have cancer is because you found out you had cancer, and you should find out how many people are being infected. What your rate of infection is what's really important.
So it definitely won't change us, but I think other companies that are depending on some funding, to have that out. Yeah, for us, all our instruments are done with private medical facilities.
But in the middle of an epidemic to do that? I mean, he is just not wise about the science of all of this.
Yeah, and I posted on Facebook, I can't believe he doesn't say anything about that. There's a lot of stuff he didn't talk about, and he ran it for 10 minutes about his stupid walk off the after the graduation. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, well, go home.
Sorry,
go home, and we'll see you there. Go. Okay, he's on his way home where he can.
Hey, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yes.
Your building is over 100 years old, and is it painted on the outside? And is that what they're stripping?
No, they're not stripping anything. As a matter of fact, they haven't done any of the work that they paid to have this. This. What do we call it? It's like a covering that goes around the bottom of the building to protect things from falling on people. Okay, and I think they're paying something. I think they're paying something like $65,000 a month for that, and they haven't done any of the work yet.
Is there a covering on the sides too? So it's not just underneath, but also the face of it.
No.
No. When they remove paint, like lead paint.
No, they weren't going to do removing paint. They were going to be doing pointing, which is to find insecurities in the building and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which you have to do, I think, every 10 years or 15 years by law in New York. But they put that thing up and they haven't done any of the work.
My concern was that you were getting some amount of lead in your blood.
Oh no, I'm not. That's not it. No. No. We know what the paint is in here. It's not lead paint. So.
Well, a 100-year-old building, there's lead underneath.
Oh, I'm sure there's lead in the building, but we'll get the lead out. But no, this could be a sick apartment. I mean, we could have contaminants in here that are causing me to feel this way, and that I might be allergic to. So, today I'm a little better than I was yesterday. I'm not sitting here getting groggy and saying I don't know if I can get to the end of the show. So I'm feeling better. He said, coughing. Anyway, so so what did you think, Phil, about, can you find any rationale for stopping funding to the states for testing?
Didn't know that he had stopped the funding.
Yeah.
It was my birthday today, so I've been getting a ton, and thank you, Charlie. I've been getting a ton of happy birthdays, and
well, I only have a short time. May I be the last one to wish you a happy birthday?
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm going to do is pull that thing. I thought I pulled it off of Facebook so that it didn't have my birthday listed, because on the day of my birthday, I don't have time to do anything else except to answer, oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. So, Charlie, did you hear about this today, about him doing the defunding of the...
I saw a headline.
Yeah, of the virus testing. I mean...
Yeah, probably some stupid rationale behind it.
I have no idea what the rationale is. It doesn't make sense.
What was I heard? What was the deal that went on today about the police bill that was introduced by Scott in the Senate. I guess Pelosi doesn't want to.
They're fighting over a police bill, and you knew that was going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing anymore that doesn't fall along political lines. It's like everybody who's a Republican in the Senate feels they have to be in lockstep. They can't like be independent thinkers and say, and vote on everything based on what you think the merits are of that. Instead, they go, well, what will my other Republican think of me if I don't vote this way?
But it was a Republican bill. It was the one that was written by Tim Scott of South Carolina, and the Democrats don't want to.
Well, I'm saying I'm not just blaming the Republicans.
Very watered down.
I'm blaming everybody because there are certain things, you know. Okay, let's get to the coronavirus a second. Just one second. Is that a political issue?
It's become one.
But why? It makes no sense at all. I mean, I'm not wearing a mask because I'm a Republican. What?
Yeah, it's become a political issue, and
it shouldn't.
Of course it should. The only you don't want to talk about the bill?
No, I want to talk about the bill. Sure.
Oh well, you see, the Democrats could put amendments to the bill. They could vote amendments in on the floor, but they haven't even tried that. They just said the bill is dead. You know.
Well, you know, I mean, I just would like to, please, Senate, Congress, we're dying out here. Quit making things political. Isn't it time that, hey, yeah, maybe we do need to have, I really think we do need to have a revamping of police departments. And I don't think Phil would disagree with that assumption. Would you?
I'm all for more training and better training to help de-escalate.
Okay. Yeah. You admit there's a problem with the police departments in America. Not in particular, but
I don't think it's an endemic problem. I think it's there are problems, and you'll have problems no matter what agency you deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever somebody says do this, there's always going to be somebody that says I don't want to. And so, how do you work with it? And
yeah, well, all I'm saying is that, there's obviously something wrong with the police departments in this country because we haven't policed the police departments enough.
Oh, there's plenty of policing of the police departments. There's all sorts of citizen review.
Yeah, but you're talking about in your area. Okay.
No, in any area.
Hey, go into the deep South and take a look at some of those town clowns.
I had a friend that was the chief of police of Valley, Alabama, and they were no different than they were in Richmond or other cities, because he was a cop in Richmond with me, and then he became the chief of Heron, California, and then he became the chief of Valley, Alabama. So it really doesn't matter where it is.
As he said to you, we love our Negras down here. I never got that. Charlie, did you ever get that Negra? You remember that?
Oh, that's what John Thurman always used to say.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a cross between Negro and the N-word.
Yeah.
And I never could figure out where that one came into play.
I think that's a disparaging way of addressing someone, and it's I don't call it racist. It's just stupid,
Yeah, stupidity reigns supreme these days.
But here's a question I asked.
Yes. Here's Tony. Ask a question, Tony.
Police reform. Maybe like you're saying, they need more training. Alex, maybe they shouldn't give them the gun right away. Maybe they should work up to it. Maybe 6 months. How long is the academy? 6 months?
I don't remember, but I think it's 3 months. Well, it depends on if you go.
I have a great suggestion I made a few years ago, and I know Phil isn't going to like this. It's going to drive him crazy, but that's what it's my job. That's what I like to do, Phil.
I don't want
it's how much free time do the police have when they're on duty?
Depends on the department. We used to go from report to report to report.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you couldn't take a break. You had to eat on the run.
Okay, but how about other times?
It's rare. You didn't have a lot of time because radio was always dispatching you to calls, and this is when you're on patrol.
Did you find that any of those calls were unnecessary for the police to handle, but it could be handled by some other agency?
The people that call,
like domestic disputes, as an example, don't really need to be handled by police. They could be handled by social service people.
Well, a lot of times we found in a domestic dispute there was violence going on. Someone was injured, and we had to separate. And
so how many times was it people just arguing with each other, and it just got very loud, and the neighbors complained?
It's not necessarily the neighbors. We handled some pretty nasty domestic disputes and also child abuse cases, like the Bermuda's case, where the uncle beat the crap out of a 3-year-old and left them brain dead. I was on that.
Okay,
one.
Well, that's happy talk. By the way, I just noticed something. Howard,
Yeah.
I suddenly noticed something. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest on the program, Woody Allen. Have you been told that before?
No.
No?
No,
Somehow here you look like Woody Allen. Am I wrong, guys?
I agree.
He has the look.
Yeah.
Hair.
It's the hair.
Well, Woody
still
has
have it.
very little hair left,
Oh, he has more than Woody.
Yeah. But by the way, your boy in, I think, where was it? Wisconsin? Is 18 points behind Biden?
Yeah, I don't go for those polls, especially this early on.
Yeah, well, sometimes, let me put it this way. If it's like 3 points ahead, you can go, I can go either way. 5 points ahead, you can go, well, that can maybe go either way. When you get to 18 points, it's not a question of if there's a fluctuation in the polling.
They had Hillary 12 points ahead at various times, and see how it worked out for her.
Well, they have this guy, Steve Kornacki. Anybody watch MSNBC?
Nah.
This guy, Steve Kornacki, with his polling and his poll numbers and things like that. I would like to go back, if he was still working there, when the last election was going on, and see what his predictions were. Because I think they were probably, probably for Hillary. Well, I mean, let's face it. The disparity was in that election that Hillary did win by the popular vote, and what they were checking out was the popular vote. They weren't checking out the electoral vote. So that really they were right. Hey, look who's coming here. I wondered where he was because I said to myself, he hasn't called in a couple of days. It's Todd Moore. Hello, Todd. You there, Todd?
He may not have a really good connection. He told me he was at a truck stop, and that they do things to interfere with your connection.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the truck stop? Why they want you to hang out with the hookers more? Or what?
They want you to buy their internet connection.
Oh, is that it?
The economy.
Well, that sucks. Anyway, we'll just see if Todd comes on here. His camera's off, but he's obviously coming through. It's just his camera's not turned on and his audio's not turned on.
This is also, he doesn't use Zoom that often. He talked to me tonight, and I told him to go on the thing and click through. So he may be dealing with Zoom issues.
Yeah, Zoom's pretty simple to use, though.
Yeah.
Let's face it. Look, Jeff uses it every night, and it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's because his wife sets it up before he sits down.
no, he probably does it all himself now. Yeah. Zoom is somewhat idiot-proof. Once somebody does it once.
Much sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finally copied the code, and I saved it to a contact, and now it's even easier.
Yeah, I would suggest that's what everybody should do, is take that thing, just cut and paste it on either onto some notepad you have or just, because that holds no matter what. If you had, like, I have Notepad in Mac, And if I put it on a page and it's got that link, all I have to do is click on that link on the notepad and it'll call. So it's pretty convenient. It's pretty idiot proof, folks. And look at the idiots we got here. Yeah. Howard, is Hawaii somewhat conservative or Republican, or which way do they fall? No,
you could fit all the Republicans in like one bar.
Oh, really? Son of a bitch.
Phil wants to move.
That's why Phil won't move here.
No, I still like it. I'm a scuba diver, and it's just so conducive to diving.
Yeah.
But he won't live here that way because there's no Republicans here.
There's no Republicans here either. So,
by the way, speaking of water, they have a movie on Netflix called Magnetic. And it's about all these places in the world that are magnets for thrill seekers. And the first one is just about surfing and the biggest waves on the planet. Where do you think they are?
North Shore, Hawaii.
Nope.
Mavericks in
nope.
Not Santa Cruz, but
Half
up.
Moon Bay.
Nope.
Yeah, Half Moon Bay.
Nope.
Then they're like, could they be in Indonesia or
no?
One of those?
Portugal.
Really?
Portugal.
I was thinking Spain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Portugal. These waves are so gigantic, and then there's this little guy like inching his way along this giant wave, and I'm going, "You're out of your fucking mind." You know, I wouldn't do that.
You got to be a good swimmer too to surf.
I know a guy that photographs surfers inside the wave. You know, when he gets up in the crest.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how they do it, but it's beautiful
Well,
stuff.
you could do that with a good telephoto lens and not have to be near it. Oh, I'm serious.
Yeah. He uses an underwater enclosure, and I think wide angle.
Well, I would certainly have an enclosure for your camera if you were doing something in the middle of one of those big waves, yes. But he maybe avoids the wave by shooting outside the curl and then through into the curl.
I'm not sure. I didn't ask him how he does it. It's stuff.
He probably does it from San Diego.
Yeah, really.
Because you're not getting me near that wave. But anyway, no, they say that this one in New Zealand is the magnet for surfers. They actually will go there and live for 6 months at a time waiting for the good wave to start coming in.
Is Portugal or New Zealand? You said?
Portugal.
Portugal. Huh?
And it's this, they say there's some kind of like depression in the shoreline or something that causes this thing to just swell up huge. And they get carried out there by guys, their surfboards get carried out there by guys on jet skis. And these guys' lives are in a great deal of danger.
Has anyone here ever surfed? I got up on a board once, and it was a very small wave, maybe 2-3 feet.
Yeah.
And I was only up for a few seconds, but the energy that I felt in the board and just being on the wave was an unbelievable energy. I have no desire to.
But that's probably why these guys do it.
Yeah.
There's probably, I mean, you know, if you're doing it for the endorphins, that's got to be an endorphin rush.
The wave actually transfers to your body.
Yeah.
And you know, I only stayed up for a few seconds, but you know, it's kind of like sex, but you know, but the but it was exhilarating.
Todd, can you hear us?
I don't think he's there.
No, he's there. He's there. Let me see. Well, he's there. His camera is on supposedly, and his microphone. Are you there, Todd? It's too bad.
Probably still having some issues.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. You know. But anyway, so I mean, if you get to see that show, Magnet, I want to watch the rest of it because they also do mountain climbing and they do a whole bunch of other things that people do that, you know, quite frankly, I would never do because I would shit my pants. You know, and not that I don't already have that problem, but you know.
Well, you know what I did last year, diving with tiger sharks. You know, and you know, just having somebody feed them and then they just swim right around. They come right up to you. 15-foot tigers.
Really? Okay. Hey, I'm a little out of sync here. I don't know why. Everybody else is in sync, but I'm not in sync. Isn't that weird?
With the Backstreet Boys.
Huh? Yeah.
Backstreet Boys or something.
Anyway, I don't know. I just I've run out of stuff to talk about. Well, we could. Let's see here. Was it more Trump stuff today? Nah. It was pretty much a quiet day for Trump, right, Charlie?
I don't know. I don't usually follow the news during the day.
Well, except for the fact that this whole Roger Stone thing that they've uncovered about the Justice Department playing loose with his conviction, or was he convicted finally? Yeah. Huh?
I thought it was Flynn that.
Flynn got out completely, and now they're testifying before congressional committees, members of the DOJ, that they were pressured into these things.
Wow.
By the Trump administration to get these guys off the hook. Stone and Kelly.
Yeah, that's because the DOJ found that the investigation that was done by the FBI was unwarranted. And
look who's DOJ.
And look who's the DOJ.
Yeah, but that was Trump.
I swear, when this is all over, and it will be, I don't think, and I'll go on record as saying this, that Trump's going to win this one. And he's not going after a tough guy to beat, but he's not going to win this one because, A, he has not administered the coronavirus situation well. In fact, he hasn't done it at all, basically. And the economy is in shambles. The stock market is, he says, we've had the best stock market in 200 years or something like that. Well, yeah, if you don't count the drop that took place first, yeah, the comeback has been rather large, but not large enough to get us back to where we were. And people are feeling that. People are feeling that in their pockets. And, it's all about the money, pal.
It's not bad for an economy that's been shut down for 3 months.
What do you mean? It's terrible.
No,
it's an economy like an economy that's been shut down for 3 months.
I remember how many points it went down today. I lost $13, but
Phil, you've got $26 invested in the goddamn stock market. Quit acting like you're suddenly Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah, well, it went down $13. I haven't put anything.
We'll get you a monocle, and then you can talk about your stock investments.
But I put the $1,000 in right after the first downturn, and I think it was about a 7% correction, and now I'm pretty close to even. So it tells me, and what I bought was a Dow Industrial Spider. So this is where the market was. It went down today because of they're talking about some spikes. Fauci in his testimony talked about some spikes, and so
well they also I got to tell you that the president has done nothing to make these people feel secure where this plague is concerned. They don't, he thinks that all you've got to do is just say wonderful things and the stock market will go up, but the coronavirus won't make it go down. Well, of course it will. It has affected the stock market incredibly because look at where we were and look at where we are now and look at where we could go if things got worse. And they are now predicting that maybe by October, we're going to have 150,000 deaths. Okay.
You mean additional deaths?
Huh?
Additional deaths? Because we already have 123,000.
Yeah, well, they say by October we'll be up to 150,000.
No, by the end of July we'll be over 150,000. They're talking about 200,000 by the end of August.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
Phil, when you hear those kind of numbers, what is that going to do to the stock market? The stock market is like a frightened little child, who...
These are predictions based on...
Phil, it doesn't matter whether they're predictions or not. They're affecting the stock market.
Well, we'll see. I'm having a great month. My June is almost as good as my February was, which was unbelievable. Now,
and the reason is because people have to put in new carpets because for the last 3 months they've been pacing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I know. I'm 11% ahead for the year.
Well, it has nothing to do with Trump.
Of course it does. He bought all the carpet.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know what scares me though?
And that was just for his head.
Yeah.
But like with those spikes in all those other states, unless we get a vaccine, I think they're going to have to shut these states down, or you're going to have a lot more. What about the people who
Texas has had more cases
who put their tests off?
Today, Cuomo, along with the other two surrounding governors of Connecticut and New Jersey, announced that they hold on a second. Got a little phlegm in there. Announced that they are going to not, if people come in from certain states, there's a list of them, they have to quarantine themselves for 14 days before getting out into our communities. Because he said that the one thing that could spoil all the good work that we've done is these people coming from other states and infecting us. And we've got to do something to prevent that. So it's like Florida and it's Texas. Like Texas just, finally your governor has changed his tune, hasn't he, today?
Well, he said we should stay home, but he hadn't made it mandatory.
In Howard State, they have a 14-day quarantine if you want to go there. And I think that Europe said that they don't want us going to Europe. There is a proposed ban on us being able to go into the European Union. Yeah.
Just show you how bad it is in Texas. We've had more cases in the last 3 weeks than we had in the 3 months before that.
Wow, your hospital.
You guys are in trouble.
Yeah.
I bet you're not going out.
I haven't been out in 10 days. I'm not going out.
Really? I don't go out that often.
You don't have to shave as much when you wear a mask.
You actually,
I would shave every day.
Actually, you have to, because the problem is, if I had this, I don't know, how do you wear a mask, Jeff? Because you got to get it over the beard, right?
Your audio's off.
Yeah. Your audio's off, Jeff.
Yeah, how about now?
Yeah.
It's good.
Perfect.
I usually get my thing right below there, and I'm okay.
Oh, you mean you can actually get it to go under?
Right.
Wait a minute, I have one here.
A long one.
Hold on a second.
No, but I trim it.
You just put it on.
Yeah, it's just like one of those.
It is?
There we go.
I found that those are more comfortable if the
Actually,
metal.
I find if I wear this in the house, my breathing gets better.
This is what Trump gave us.
Yeah, there's something in your air.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we'd be walking around like this, like The Walking Dead?
Yeah, you probably need an air filter.
Well, I'll tell you though, you look at a picture of during the last pandemic, the Spanish flu, and people are at ball games all wearing masks.
Yeah.
This is nothing new. These are the same masks they were wearing 100 years ago.
Than we are.
100 years ago they were wearing the same masks, and they knew they had to, because they knew they were dying like crazy. Do I have this on right? Yeah.
They didn't have any antibiotics or anything to help out back then.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. What happens when I go out to dinner?
Oh, God.
You got to have a flap.
And I'm glad I'm not a smoker anymore.
Is the restaurants opening up in New York?
Yeah, we have restaurants open with street service. In other words, they have tables and chairs on the sidewalks.
A friend of mine just wrote me today, and she said, well, we should go to Sam's in Tiburon because they're serving on the deck. And I said, that's a really good idea. Sam's has that beautiful deck.
Yeah.
And, I really want to sit down in a restaurant, order, and get something to eat.
That's where I used to go. I used to go two places after my shows in San Francisco and take people out to lunch. One of them was Sam's in Tiburon, out on the deck. And the other one was the Altamira Hotel in Sausalito.
Sausalito.
Where, by the way, they fit. Oh, hey, there he is.
Hey, Todd.
There's Todd. Hi, Todd.
I used to look up at the Altamira from my place in Sausalito.
Yeah, but do you know what movie was filmed there?
No, I forget. I don't know.
Behind the Green Door.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My favorite movie.
Porno movie?
Huh?
A porno movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was filmed there. I mean, it wasn't, the whole film wasn't filmed there, but the exteriors were filmed there.
Yeah, you know, your friend Joe Rigelski used to be a fixture at Sam's.
At Sam's, yeah, I know. Yeah, but I always loved I could always get laid if I took a woman to lunch at the Altamira Hotel because it's in Sausalito. It's up on the hill and it looks out over the water, and on a beautiful day, man, there ain't nothing like it.
Did they invent the Ramus Fizz there?
No, I don't think so.
I thought that's what they said in their menu, but they're gone. They're closed.
Are they closed? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, not because of the coronavirus. They're just closed.
No, it's been gone for a while.
All these places go eventually. I think Todd, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you guys hear me?
Hey, Todd. Yeah. Good. Glad you could join us.
Hey, how you guys doing? Sorry I've been gone for a while.
Well, now that you've learned how to do Zoom,
took me forever.
Well, it'll be simple the next time you do it, Todd.
Yeah.
You're in your truck. Where are you exactly?
I'm in North Carolina right now. Mm-hmm. I lost my old truck. I was about to pay it off on October.
Yeah.
And I was about to get my house, and my truck died on me. So now I'm in a different truck, as you can see by the lights and stuff like that in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to do 5 more years before I get my house.
Oh,
so
God.
That's why you guys haven't heard from me for a while, because I was in the shop, I was in the hotel. You know, it happens. And you know what's really crazy? Me and Phil got a birthday today.
That's right. It's Todd's birthday. Happy birthday, Todd. How old are you?
Happy birthday, my man, Phil.
Hey.
Yeah.
So how old are you, Todd?
I don't even know. I was born in 72, but I lie on my age so much, I kind of forgot. I think my dad said
how old would that make
40.
him? Maybe
49? 48?
48. How old am I?
Young.
72, so 72 to 102.
Yeah, help me out.
Is 30 years, then 40 years, almost 50 years old. Probably 49, right?
Yeah. Holy shit, really? Almost 50? Yeah, I think like 2-3 years. 50,
hey, today I qualify for full Social Security. And what happened is I didn't want to take Social Security early. So since my birthday was in June, I said, well, I'll take the first check in July. And so somebody from Social Security actually called me and said, you know, you can get a check in June. Why did you ask for July? I said, well, I didn't want to
Phil, you're a conservative, you're a Republican, you love Trump. Do not take that money. We're simply trying to buy you off.
15% of everything I made up to $100 and something thousand at the end of this thing.
Every year it was about $9,999
for the employee. But if you're self-employed or the employer, you pay 7.5% for the employee and 7.5% from the employer. I'm the employer. I'm paying the 15%. You know,
I'm paying the 15% of my umpire. Yeah.
Yeah. So 15% of everything. You know, years ago it was 70,000.
Yeah, but let's get back to Todd.
Yeah.
Todd's been having rough times now in already what is a rough economy. So are you seeing your way out of it, Todd?
No, not really. But, you know, I've been dealing with it my whole entire life. And the Lord, you know, he keeps playing with me. So I never get mad about it. It happens.
Yeah.
I'm in a different truck, as you can probably tell, because you don't see my lamp sitting in front of me.
Right.
So I do got some new lights here.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad about it. You know.
Better truck, Todd?
Say what?
Is this a better truck setup for sleeping and?
Well, I left the Freightliner and now I'm in the hell is the truck I'm in?
I'm in a Kenworth.
Oh, okay. Well, those are.
It's a lot smaller than I was in, but it's nice. It's got nice stuff in it, but they want a lot of money for it. So I think probably what's going to happen is I'm going to get out of driving trucks and go back to being a chef or a mechanic. I'm not 100% sure yet. I like going around the United States. I will miss that. I will miss that a lot.
There are people, you think of trucking as a pretty rough life, but there are a lot of people I talk to who've been truckers and just love it. Just love it.
I have the answer for Todd. Get a food truck.
And I got to tell you something. I got to tell you a quick story while I got time here.
Yeah.
When I was working at Sirius XM, when I first went there, all of a sudden I get all these calls, and the calls were from truckers. Because
I was one of them.
Yeah, because you were the first adopters of satellite radio, because it made sense for you, you know.
Well, that's how I met you, Alex. You were first with the XM radio, and I listened to you forever.
Yeah.
And you know, you helped us out a lot. So that's the reason why I'm still here.
What I was saying is that I really found the truckers. I like the truckers. I really like them. You know, every misconception I had about truckers completely went out the window. You know, and then we had this trucking channel, and I got to know people over there, and I really became very fond of my trucker audience. And then as it grew, they were disproportionate to everybody else, but they were the original adopters, you know. But you know, I hope everything works out okay for you. I'd like you to become a chef so I can go to a restaurant where you cook.
I didn't know if Todd.
I was good at that. Thank you.
Todd, you can combine your love of trucking with your love of being a chef by getting a food truck. And then you could go around all over the country cooking and selling your food.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I probably wouldn't be able to go as far as I go driving an 18-wheeler. It's a lot different.
Well, I know.
That was one of my passions of being a chef, because I still am a chef. I have all my cooking supplies inside my truck. And it took forever to get all the stuff out of the one truck to this truck. It took 3 days to remove all my stuff. And now I have a bunch of flat screen TVs and everything in here. It's really nice, but it's a little bit smaller than my other truck. And, you know, I'm going to work for a little bit, but, you know, me and my dad, because he's a retired, you know, police officer from New York, but also that he does a lot of real estate appraising and stuff. So he he's been wanting me out of a truck. I've been in a truck for 17 years now, and he don't want me in this. I feel it now, because you know I'm trying to hold the pain together from losing a truck that you know I was about to pay it off, and then all of a sudden my house, you know, was right there, and it's like gone. And now I got to do another 5 years with this company. I'm trying to hold back tears now, but I don't really think I'm gonna be doing this too much longer. I love it, but it's hard.
Yeah. Wow. See, folks, it ain't easy being a trucker, but it's a life that some of the your team seem to love it, though. Todd seem to love it.
Say what?
You seem to love it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I love it, but the money ain't shit. I can work more money at McDonald's.
Yeah, and it breaks your heart. Well, anyway, hey, listen. By the way, they closed the McDonald's on 42nd Street, which I'm very happy about, to tell you the truth.
They closed that Wendy's in Atlanta, too.
Really?
Yeah, the one burned down.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, listen, all you guys, Phil Meyer, Howard, thank you. Howard Bennett. Charlie Wallace, Tony Magno, the wonderful Jeff Stein, and Todd. Always good. Call us more, will you? Now that you know how to do this, it really works okay.
I'll try my best.
Easier to do than Skype. Anyway,
Have a happier birthday.
Happy birthday to you too, Phil, and
you.
all of
Happy
you.
birthday,
Give
Phil.
a big wave
You know,
goodbye.
it's also Mark from Florida's birthday.
Oh, Mark
Thorner, yeah.
Thorner's
Thorne,
birthday. Yeah.
His birthday today.
Okay, happy birthday, Mark, and just wave goodbye,
birthday,
everybody.
Mark.
There we go. There they go. They're out of here,
Birthday
ladies and
day.
gentlemen. Yep. They're here. They're out of here, rather, and so are we. That's it for tonight. I'm Alex Bennett. Stay tuned next for the Jack Bishop intersection. And he'll be taking your calls just like we do for the citizen panel. He's going to form one right now. So go over there and give him a call. He's on Skype, okay? And you Skype him at Gabnet Live. I'm Alex Bennett. We'll see you again tomorrow night, 10:30, same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, tell her I love her, okay? And by the way, stay safe and wear a damn mask, you idiots.